morning to Madam Vimala and fellow friends. Today, Laura and I will present about negative effects of media on Malaysian politics. Generally, media is one of the tools of communication that everyone uses, basically to seek for information, for their entertainment, to surf the internet, and for spreading news. There are three types of media that were used by everyone. The first type of media is printed media, which this media consists of newspapers, flyers, magazines, and pamphlets. Printed media is one of the powerful medium that were used by the Japanese during their colonialism to spread their propaganda. The second types of media is electronic media. Electronic media is consists of television, radio, fax machine, telephone, and more. Electronic media such as radio were also used during Japanese colonialism, but unfortunately, the use of radio were banned by the Japanese government as they were afraid that their war strategies were known by their enemies. Until today, radio and television were still used by everyone as there were more channels were introduced by the broadcasting and publishing field. The third type of media is social media, which this media is the most influencing and used by everyone nowadays. Social media such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and more were used by everyone around us. Plus more, according to a journal written by Joseph and others, they agreed that social media are a better indicator than printed and electronic media. Now, we will go into the negative effects of media on Malaysian politics. The first negative effect is rumors and fake news. There is a high chance for a person receive rumors and fake news through social media. Social media has a higher possibility in publishing rumors and fake news among people. Malaysian politics were not an exception for some people's target in publishing rumors and fake news. These people that made stories usually upload those fake news through random websites where everyone can see and read it. As an example, Deputy of National Trust Party Amanah, Datuk Seri Salahuddin Ayub, denied one news on him joining Bersatu. The news was published through one website where the author was exactly faking the news without any concrete reason. Through this news, we know that some people use media to spread rumors and fake news among politicians to interfere Malaysian political issues. Second negative effects of media on Malaysian politics is political bias. Political bias is an action where a person shows inclination or prejudice against someone or something. In political issues, political bias can be seen especially through news that were published by the media. The media will publish attractive news about one party, yet publish bad news about the other parties. As an example, Utusan Malaysia has been publishing fake news and even slanders about many parties other than UMNO, which this practically showed how biased they are in publishing stories on politics. In short, the media's action causes news become unbalanced.
Hi, I'm Gloria. So next I'm gonna explain about the other two negative effects of media on politics. The other effect is of course about polls impact. Social media is a new tool for political communication influences current developments in political campaigning. In combination with mainstream media, social media is increasingly used for purposes such as political marketing, mobilization of voters, and public debate. For example, Pakatan Harapan, to topple the ruling party Barisan Nasional, which had ruled Malaysia for the last 61 years. Literature on new media rarely shows positive relationship between new media usage and voting decisions. At most, social media plays a crucial role in extending the dissemination of information to voters. However, PH had to rely solely on social media for their political marketing in reaching out to both urban and rural constituencies. The coalition was denied access to the government-controlled mainstream media. With database information, PH was able to segment voters and focus on marginalized constituencies, young voters, middle class, urban voters, and rural constituencies. Of the misconception is many politicians and political parties have is that merely using social media will win them the election. Ultimately, what mattered more in this case was whether political parties could register the currents of change percolating within and involving Malaysian society and address voters' grievances accordingly. The last negative effects of media is political harassment. While we want Facebook to be a safe place for people to express themselves politically, we need to make sure that no one is bullied or threatened for their views. Female political leaders had more comments in every single category we measured, and that those comments were also more negative than those directed toward their male counterparts. It also showed that nearly 3/4 of all comments are about appearance and marital status were about women rather than men, and that only women faced comments about their competence in relation to their gender. To make matters more complex, government themselves sometimes engage in such harassment. For example, in our country, the problem is that there are extremists in certain organizations who use issues related to race and religion while providing extreme views that give rise to displeasure with others. Even in more open societies, we are seeing cases where government officials write hateful posts that make enforcing our community standard challenging. So far, we've kept such posts up on our platform since we view them as a newsworthy information that citizens deserve to know. We also found these posts often become important magnets for counter speech, but we recognize reasonable people may disagree with this policy. To conclude, graphic elements, audiovisuals, and sentences and words that are persuasive, memorable, and uplifting to the individual have succeeded in influencing the perception and political choices of the masses. What distinguishes the level of acceptance of this popular geopolitical medium is whether they accept the fullness of the information presented or consider the validity of truthfulness of the information conveyed rationally or emotionally. Therefore, all parties need to be mature in communicating information or receiving information to ensure that the country's political stability is sustainable and lasting. Thank you.